Noticed a pattern where I can be really sensitive to when something is just slightly off. And a lot of times it's a fine line, right? Where it's like, no, don't settle, like demand excellence and do your best. And if something doesn't work, fix it or find something else. And other times it's like, okay, girl, you can't be meticulous and controlling over every tiny detail in life all the time, because you have to let things emerge naturally and dance in like the sauce and like messiness and chaos. Not everything's gonna be perfect, and it's a perfectionism thing, but it's also like the intuitive sense of knowing what works for you. And sometimes you just don't have I'm at this beautiful river, look, you don't have a good description as to like why something is off, and then I kind of am like, am I the crazy one or is something off, you know? And yeah, anyways, I've been navigating this feeling recently. I also have been navigating just different things with my projects and feeling a little bit like, okay, just in like the heavy lifting of continuing to keep things moving. And I have struggled with YouTube recently because I just sort of kind of got out of the habit. I was being really consistent, like making videos every single day, and then I started switching to every other day, which I think is more sustainable and more realistic. But I just have like a standard that I straight up cannot reach with YouTube yet because of like the amount of effort I want to put into it. And not effort, like I want to put a lot of effort into it and I want to create valuable content. I just like cannot spend hours and hours of my day every day editing right now, or like doing high production quality. So it's very just like honest and raw talking to camera vibes, which I think there's a market for that too, and like everyone has a different vibe that they prefer. But I've just kind of been beating myself up over like the quality of everything I'm doing, because it's like digital assets and like digital portfolio, and I'm like, okay, is this my portfolio? Am I proud of this portfolio? And I'm like, I want to be proud of this portfolio because I put a lot of damn time into it, and I put a lot of intention and effort and like vulnerability into it. And a lot of my videos is just like exposing my like inner thoughts and perspectives about things. So then it's just like, damn, like I'm just in a phase of like feeling a little stupid about it, but that's okay. It's like part of the process. And sometimes I'm like super like high off life when I'm expressing myself and documenting through video. Another thing I want to talk about, oh my gosh, I always beat myself up when I come with low vibes to the camera. I notice that I like expressing myself when things are kind of like, ooh, I am like finding deeper meaning here, or there's something to explore here, or there's some type of tension that I like want to unlock or something, I don't know. And that makes a lot of my videos feel like kind of like slow and intense and like really deep, when like on a day-to-day I'm like really a bubbly, happy person, like joking around and like being fun. And then I want my content to feel positive and have outcomes and have something meaningful. And I think a lot of the meaning comes from like being seen through other people. Like I'm basically talking to my younger self right now, you know, or like if it resonates with anyone, it resonates with someone, then it's like cool. But yeah, I've just been thinking about that because I always want to show up in a way that's like positive and optimistic and a good vibe. But the reality is like most of the time when I'm like thinking about these things, I'm having a good time. Like I'm vibing and I'm like grateful always, and I'm always optimistic. Like that's why I like always can like break things down so much in my mind. And not that it's even deep, but like it is very fun for me to like break things into little pieces. And I think like that's kind of like the magic of like reflection and stuff, is like there is an illusion of control that comes with it, and breaking something into a million pieces doesn't always mean that you can put the pieces back together again to apply it to your real life. So I always like play with this balance and be like, girl, relax and like just do things and have fun. But ultimately it is part of my nature, and I am just gonna like let that happen. This is kind of just a shit post, not a shit post, but like get back in routine post, raw and honest post. I'm struggling with the internet again, and literally my last video was like how to have fun with the internet, make it a digital studio. So this is my digital studio of me sitting at this river thinking about life, talking about life to my phone. What else is going on these days? I started on Instagram, having a lot of fun with Instagram, meeting a lot of cool people on Instagram. I did this thing for the postcard project where I was like, okay, I'll send you a postcard, like, hey. And so many people were down for me to send them a postcard, so that's been really fun. I think I've sent out like 30 or 40 postcards. I honestly like half of them, at least, maybe more than half of them, were international. So that was pretty sick to see like all the countries I was sending to. And then yeah, I'm still in this location that shall not be named, that I'm like a bit ready to leave, but it's been fun and I'm grateful to be here. I just miss the Florida weather, I miss the humidity, I miss being tan, I miss the ocean, I miss LA and like the chaos of New York and my friends. And I think I'm just in an era of post-grad where it's like everyone's kind of doing their own thing and I'm a bit isolated out here. Not super isolated, but like I got my boyfriend and that's pretty much it right now. And yeah, I'm just not used to that because I was always around my community all the time and I was always around all of my favorite spots ever and like commotion and opportunity all the time. And right now it feels like all the opportunity is in the digital space for me, which is a bit exhausting because I feel like I have to always be on when I come to the digital space. And that's also not true. It's a limiting belief. Everyone kind of is like down for the ride of like what the raw honest truth is. And I've seen that in myself as I explore the internet and I see it as I talk to other people. But I always want to come with a good vibe, but I can't always be on, and I don't even like the thought of me like feeling like I should be on because I like being real. Like it's like my values, I guess, to like be honest. And if I'm being honest, I'm like having a bit of a rough time. And every day I feel like it's a constant battle because I'm like, I know I can choose the better thing and I know I can pull myself out of this because it's a mindset thing. Like I'm old enough at this point where there's a pattern, right? Like I have no problems. Like I'm so lucky. My life is so awesome. I have so much flexibility and I'm so grateful, and I have so much access and leverage and like low responsibility, so I can pretty much do whatever I want. And that's like a blessing and a curse because like just the structure that I think gives you fulfillment I have to create for myself, and I like know how to create for myself, but that makes every day a battle of creating it for myself and like doing the things I need to do and like forcing myself to be on a good in a good system and a good routine. And ultimately I have like these two sides in my brain. Like one side's like really structure, business, like routine, numbers oriented, and the other side is like my little creative artist self that likes to frolic and like sit by rivers and talk about life and write in my journal for hours. And like to me that's still a good productive use of time, if that makes sense. But then when I'm like trying to balance the allowing myself to have both of those things while still giving like the natural fluidity of the creative process to kind of allow it to be open-ended still, it just all falls on you. And that's why I love business, because business is a direct reflection of you, like the growth of your project, the substance and values and mission of your project, and like your day-to-day routine, how you spend your time, your network, the people you're connecting with. Like you have control over all of those things. And as my own boss, I guess, and specifically as an unprofitable boss where I'm not paying myself yet, it's just kind of like I feel like I am like meaner to myself than a real boss would be. And I know that's like maybe not sustainable, but also it's like you gotta be straight up. Like, and if I'm being straight up, I know I can choose to be better like half of the time at least, and like the other half of the time I do think I am doing quality work. But it is it's just a lot of pressure to always be the best and always be excellent. And like realistically my skill set is still developing in that world, and it's gradually getting darker and I feel like you can't even see me. But yeah, so that's something I've been struggling with. I've been relatively consistent, and that is good. I'm scratching my head. I wrote a piece today that felt really honest and real, and like I am like trying not to get tripped up about the quality of my writing all the time, because my writing is not where it needs to be either, and I'm trying to stop complaining. I'm constantly complaining, it feels like. I'm gonna do daily vlogs or like daily recap lesson videos for myself to kind of like document what I'm thinking and like what I'm working on and how things are going in this process. And I'll probably post them every other day because I kind of liked that model better with YouTube. Maybe I'll post them every day, I don't know, we'll see. Let me know if that's something of interest to you. This is kind of a ramble one, so I don't think anyone's watching this. I'm honestly posting this to just prove to myself that it's okay to let things suck sometimes, because this is a shitty video. But look at the river. I'm at the river. I'm at a body of water. I always say this, like, my safe space anywhere in the world is find a body of water. So that's what I'm doing. There's no ocean here. I'm in a landlocked area. We have lakes and rivers, but I'm only here for a month, and the month is almost over, so not for long. And I believe I'm going to Seattle soon. I think Seattle has ocean access. I'm going there in a couple days, so that'll be interesting. We're road tripping there, and we're picking up a trailer. And we're like trailering back a drift car and a motorcycle and a truck. No, we're gonna drive the truck, I think. Anyways, reading a book right now about what's it called? It's called Why Greatness Cannot Be Planned. I cannot recommend it yet because I haven't finished it, but basically the point of the book is like sort of making an argument for emergent evolution versus always having objectives and always having a specific goal or aim in mind, and how so much of our culture is like objective based. Damn, it's so dark. Like, this is horrible. You guys can't see me. And how when you're aiming at an objective, like sometimes you're aiming too low because you're only like, it's like that one quote, I forget who said it, and he's basically like, if you know exactly what you want to do with your life, then you will become it. And like there's so much more beauty in like letting it evolve over time and like seeing what happens without a direct objective. And because like your objectives are informed by your past experiences and like the knowledge that you have currently at this point in time, you're not even really smart enough to be able to predict where you should be 5 years from now, you know? So when you're aiming for like your 5-year thing, it's like you can have a general direction, but if you have very specific objectives, like you can probably get those, but like what if you were missing the real sauce or like the real magic of the thing that you could have found had you been like just open-ended exploring with like enough structure to kind of like stay in the realm. Because like the book also says, like, it doesn't argue against having goals, but it does say like sometimes we're too goal oriented in this society, and I feel that in myself a lot of times because I feel like I can be really meticulous and controlling, and I can be very much so like, this is what I want, I'm gonna get it, and I have agency over my reality, I have agency over my experience, I know I can get what I want because I've proven that to myself before. So if I'm not doing those things, then it's like, that's on me, you know? Anyways, these are just things I'm thinking about. Thank you for being here. If you watched this far, if you watched the video this far, you're a G. Thank you for that. And I'm grateful for you always. And yeah, comment down below if you want to. If you don't want to, don't. Because it's probably pretty quiet down there, and it'll be like a little bit of like a, I always feel nervous commenting when there's no one else down there. Actually, that's not true. But I do notice that like sometimes I'm a bad commenter. Like I'll think like, wow, what a great video. And only recently, as I've become more of a creator, have I forced myself to be in the habit of commenting that, like being supportive and being like, yo, this was awesome, thank you, it really helped me. Because like before I started making videos, I was never commenting on people's shit. I was like a silent viewer and liker. I'm literally in the dark. You cannot even see my face. Love you.